Hey guys, what is up? It's Rob here, coming at you with the Tuesday nightly watch list. I'll be telling you guys the news that went down in the market today and things to pay attention for the rest of the week. Today wasn't filled with, that many headlines or that much news, right? That caused a lot of, names to individually go up or down, right? It was a moderate day on the news, but, once again, a lot of focus on artificial intelligence because, it's the AI bubble, and that's what everyone is focusing on. So let's jump into it. The first thing I have for you is IBM, and they were up pre-market about 4% because IBM and Anthropic, which is another AI model, well, they actually agreed to integrate Anthropic's AI model called Claude in some of their products for business customers. So another big AI headline that came out today, and it actually sent IBM to an all-time high on their stock. So I'm going to throw up the chart right now on the screen so you can see, once again, everybody's going crazy right now. I mean, if it's AI news, right, if it's, government equity stakes, everyone's trying to make money, right, chasing headlines, chasing the news, and it's becoming a bubble out here. Now, I was just saying, AI, big bubble area, and also government equity stakes. So ticker symbol TMQ. Now, this was up over 200% pre-market, okay? Now, this company is called Trilogy Metals, and their shares soared over 200% in pre-market after the U.S. took a stake in the Minerals Explorer. So, once again, this is a name. And, the problem with these names now is that after the headline comes out, they are going up so much. So you don't really have any room to get in after the news. So if you want to make any money right now on these government equity stakes, you have to do, a little bit of deep research and figure out, what could be the next potential equity stake and try to front run that. So it's definitely a gamble because, you're going to have to take risk and predict, who could be the next, government equity stake. And I do have a name in mind at the moment, okay, that I'm looking at. So I'm going to put that on the screen right now for everybody, okay. I think, just following logic and listening to what Trump has been saying, I did some research and I definitely think that this name here could definitely be a potential runner. But I don't want everyone to go crazy over this because, once again, it's not confirmed. It's just my analysis on what I think could be the next runner. And, yep, so there we go. The next thing I have for you is Dell. Now, they popped over 10% pre-market because they raised their long-term revenue and earnings growth targets. So, all right, guys, sorry about that. I got a phone call. So I have to stitch the video back together here. It interrupted the recording. But I was talking about Dell and how they raised their long-term revenue and earnings growth targets based on AI spending. So once again, here the AI bubble, and now you're seeing it impact Dell, which was up over 10% pre-market, okay, basically because management came out and updated their guidance and said more revenue and higher profitability. So it boosted the stock up over 10%. The next thing I have for you here is gold. Gold is continuing this massive run where it hit over $4,000 an ounce. Okay, absolutely incredible run up gold has been having. So there's the news on gold. And then a lot of investors today, for Tuesday, were expecting news out of Tesla. So Tesla, was expected to unveil a lower cost Model Y. And that was the rumor going around on Tesla. So the headlines that actually came out were a cheaper Model 3 and a cheaper Model Y. So if you go to the Tesla website, you can actually see the numbers they're putting out. But the cheaper Model 3, right, is coming in around $37,000. And then the Model Y, the cheaper one, is around $40,000. Now, Tesla's doing this because they're trying to reignite sales. So they're coming out with these cheaper alternatives to their cars. Now, by hands, the biggest news on the day that presented an awesome trade opportunity. Okay, when this headline came out, you had plenty of time to react before, the stock started selling off. And you could have made around 500% on at-the-money option contracts, up to 1,000% plus, deeper out of the money for the option contracts that are expiring this Friday. But it was for Oracle, ORCL. Okay, once again, as you can see, this whole video has been sponsored, or not sponsored, but centered around artificial intelligence. And once again, I'm going to give you another AI headline that caused a huge move, and it's for Oracle. So the headline was that Oracle lost nearly $100 million from rentals of Blackwell chips in their most recent quarter. Okay, so the Blackwell chips come from Nvidia, and this headline from the information came out and said that they lost nearly $100 million just from the rentals of their Blackwell chips. So that sent Oracle down huge, and it was a big opportunity to make a trade on the day. And it was really bad news. And honestly, I was like, when I saw this headline, I was like, oh geez, like I don't even know if this is real or not. Maybe this is one of those fake little rumor pieces, but nonetheless had a huge move down. And you got to be careful of these headlines, because stuff like this is exactly what is going to pop the AI bubble. Okay, what's going to pop the AI bubble? Well, it's decreased spending in artificial intelligence, okay, or compressed earnings. So if the earnings and the profitability don't live up to the hype, or all this crazy AI capital expenditures and spending slows down, that is what's going to make the bubble go boop. And this is one of those headlines where you go, oh my God, is this it? And, right, well, if Oracle lost nearly $100 million from the rentals of Nvidia chips, well, the only logic is, why would they keep buying more? Why would people keep spending all this money if they're starting to lose money? So, this is news to be on the lookout for, because maybe, during next Oracle's earnings report, this could come full circle. And maybe we'll start to see where, some of these losses are actually coming in, where these capital expenditures aren't actually having a good return on investment for these companies in artificial intelligence. So definitely something to keep a track of. And, big headline on the day, all right, with AI, sent Oracle down, and definitely a great trade opportunity. So, like I was telling you at the beginning of the watch list, there wasn't a lot of headlines, but nonetheless, AI news that came out, and a huge trade opportunity on Oracle. So once again, guys, like I tell everyone, stay locked in, right? Keep following the news, keep watching the nightly watch list I put out so you can keep your pulse on the market. And as always, right, make good trades, but most importantly, okay, is keep your emotions in check and get a long-term portfolio. Okay, that's the thing that's going to carry us all the way there and change your life, right? The trades are one aspect of this, okay? And, there's a lot of opportunities out there with the trades, but the most important thing is to set up the long-term portfolio if you don't have one, okay? Stay consistent with it, and guess what? Talk to me in a couple of years. If you're just starting out, you're going to say thank you, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So that's everything I got for you guys. So peace out.